Welcome to our live for the week. We are talking about now what. I'm so excited to be here with you. For you guys that don't know me, I am Pamela Simon, soon to be Pamela Dampier. I am transitioning back to my maiden name, but I am also professional women to basically go out and get clarity and clear intentions so that they can be successful in their career as well as in their business. I love doing it. I do a podcast, a newsletter, and so many other things that I offer. Go out and check out my website, PamelaDampier.com, PamelaDampeer.com. And I would love to work with you. There's so many ways that you can work with me or shop with me. So check it out. But again, we're going to talk about now what? It's really about reflection and review. And at the end of each, sorry, at the end of each one of those, at the end of each quarter, I like to go back and reflect and review on the past 3 months. So I know that we're all in different places and how we do things. So some of you guys may be just starting your business or maybe even starting out in your career. Some of you may be more seasoned, but you may not all either way you're beginning or your season may not be doing the reflection and review. And so I want to help you with that. I know I didn't necessarily do it unless I was getting ready to for the entire year because I was getting some kind of review at work, right? Feedback from work. We were getting our assessments in the military or in when I was when I was a contract in federal government. I didn't necessarily look back and review all the things that I've done so that I could reflect and grow on those. I basically was waiting to hear what my supervisor had to say and then also listening to what they had to say about my growth and what it should be, and not necessarily reflecting on it myself and trying to figure out what I wanted my growth to be or where I had shortcomings and not listening to what others basically said about my shortcomings. Don't get me wrong. I took the criticism or feedback so that I could, listen to those and fix those things. But I don't necessarily know that it was more for me or more for them. You have to go from your point of view. And if what they're saying fits, great. But if not, you should definitely talk, speak up for yourself and speak to why you do things a certain way and why you feel like what they're saying may not be the right answer for you. I'm not saying be argumentative. I'm just saying, get your perspective out there. Sometimes it's just a understanding that you need to have between each other. And again, sometimes you may just be wrong, and you have to be strong enough to accept that and want to and want to change that. And if not, if you can't walk away, then maybe it's not for you, and you need to be finding other places to be. Okay, so I had this quote. I talked about it in the podcast. I always bring it to you guys here, just in case you haven't done a podcast. But this quote is by Margaret J. Wheatley. And it basically says, without reflection, we can go blindly on our way, creating more unintended consequences and failing to achieve anything useful. So I'm going to say that again. Without reflection, we go blindly on our way, creating more unintended consequences and failing to achieve anything useful. Margaret J. Wheatley. And the thing that I took from there is, and all of it is great, but if you don't reflect, you go blindly on your way, not looking at the things that you can change. You're going to continue to repeat the mistakes if you don't look at them and try to fix them. And that's where you get the unintended consequences. Growth comes from reflection. It does. It comes from reflection because if you keep going through life thinking what you're doing is fine and there's nothing wrong with what you're doing and you feel like you're getting all you can get out of your activity, then that's all you're going to get. But if you really take a deep dive and look into what's happening in your life quarterly or annually and see if you're getting the results that you want for your life, then again, you're just going to keep blindly going out there doing the same things and never growing. You're going to stay stagnant. So, like I said, we're at the end of the first quarter. So, January, February, March. I hope that you set up some goals for yourself for the quarter, especially on the business women. Career wise, I hope you've had some kind of goal set for your year. And you can break those down into quarters, definitely. And also look at your milestones of what you're trying to accomplish, even if it's for the year. Say that you want to accomplish this one goal for the year. Well, can you do it quarterly? Can you do some milestones to reach that by the end of the year? So look at that and break it down that way. And the reflection or review allows you to see if you're going to actually meet that goal based off the timeline that you set, or if you're behind, and it gives you ways to start to pivot and change how you're trying to reach that goal. So during the review, you want to reflect on your accomplishments and your shortcomings. I don't like to use the word failure, so I don't use failure. I use shortcomings. Most times, people, if they do these things, they focus on their failures, but both of them are important. You need to focus on both your failures and your shortcomings. I mean, your accomplishments and your shortcomings. The failure word, I hate it. You need to focus on both. They're very important. And you reflect on them both because they both can give you pivot points. If you made accomplishments, that's great, but there's still things you probably can grow from, right? But if you had shortcomings, there's definitely something that you can learn from it. And you want to figure out how to accomplish whatever you set out to do. Also, with success, the things you need to focus on, you want to keep being successful at that thing. So, and you may be able to continue to be successful at the pace that you're doing and the skills that you're doing, but can you be better? Can you lose you guys? Okay, hopefully you can see me. Let me know if you can see me. My internet is going in and out. Okay, so since we have an internet trouble, let me really get to this. So I'm going to give you some things that you want to look at each quarter. And if you have never set goals, don't worry about it. It's okay. I'm going to give you some things that you can think about in setting your goals. Okay. Um, but basically, you first want to pull out your milestones and your goals that you set for the quarter. You want to review those. You want to analyze what results you got for each one of those. Annotate for each one of those goals or milestones what went well, so you can use for your future goals, and what came up short, so you can address that shortcoming. And really, really deep dive into it. Don't just say, "Oh, I didn't reach this." Okay. Um, Maybe it's because I didn't even do anything. You need to really, really dive into it. Why didn't you reach that goal? Is it a goal that you really want to reach? Because if you definitely didn't do anything with that goal, it may not be a goal for you. Now, with businesses, it's easier for you to say, if I didn't reach this goal or I didn't even work on this goal, is this really a goal that I need to be working on at this point? But if you are in a career, and you're working in a corporate world, then you may have to reach that goal. You may have to, because it's part of your elements or whatever they set out for you for the year. But that doesn't mean you can't go back to your supervisor and try to reassess it and see if you can change it, so that you can better meet the goal. And then you want to create a new plan for the next quarter. And you're going to create that plan based off of how you analyze what data you up with from, what you did well and what you were short on. And you're going to make those adjustments in the plan for the next quarter. And then you want to set your next check-in. And your check-in doesn't have to be at the end of the quarter. You can check in, bi-weekly, monthly. You can check in at any point, because you want to know if you're not going to meet something so that you can start to adjust. But if you wait to the end of the quarter, then you don't know that you're not going to meet it until you get closer to the end, and then you may not have time to adjust. So Have some check-in points. And then with saying that, again, you're going to pull out your notes and review. You're going to analyze your results. You're going to annotate what went well and what you came up short with. And then you're going to create a new plan for the next quarter with check-in points. But then I want you to think about why accomplishment and shortcomings are so important. So if you're accomplishing things, the reason why it's important for you to review those accomplishments is because to continue to grow, you're going to need greater confidence, and you're going to need more motivation to want to do better and change what you're doing. You're also going to need more motivation and creativity to come up with new ideas, and it's going to be more work. So you have to consider those things and how you want to move forward. And then with your shortcomings, the thing that you definitely need to do is, and this is part of kind of what the reflection and review is, you're going to stop doing whatever you're doing. You're going to reflect on it, especially if you're doing it, doing these check-ins before the end of the quarter. Brainstorm and research how you can do better. If you're in a business, you want to talk to your ideal clients to see what's not working. Or if you're in a career, you want to talk to your supervisor, your peers, your even sometimes your subordinates to see how you can change and what you can pivot and do better, especially if they're part of the team, and they should be part of your team. You want to create, test, execute, and then just do it. Watch it. Do it. Go out and do it. But what you don't want to do is overthink it, because overthinking will always stop you in your tracks. Overthinking, if you overthink it, it will never be good enough, and you will get the plan, get it to the point where it's good enough, and then go execute. Most of the time, it's better than you think. You're just overthinking it, and get that product out there. And then if there's still some things that you can, again, like I said, for those of you that don't have goals set yet, I want you to think about this. There's a couple of different types of goals that you can set, and there's methods that you can use. So I'm going to talk to you about those methods, and I want you to really think about this. There's three that I just researched, and I thought they were pretty awesome. One I already knew about: SMART goals. So SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable. They are, why can't I remember the R? The T is time oriented, and the R is, I'll get back to you with it because it slipped my mind. But also there is the BSQ. Oh, I'm sorry. Realistic. Attainable and realistic are very important in that. SMART, specific, measurable, and time oriented is good, but attainable and realistic is really important, because if you're doing something that that is outlandish and you probably won't reach it, and it's not realistic, then you're not going to reach it. So if you, for instance, say, I want to make, if you don't have a business that can do this, and you don't have a foundation that can help you do it, systems in place and teams in place to help you, then you're not going to do it. For instance, say you want to make $1 million in a month. Do you have the services or products that you can do that with? Do you have the team to help you do it? How are you going to reach enough people to do that? Are you reaching for the right client for that? It has to be attainable and realistic. Then the other method is, and these two are new to me, BSQ, big, small, and quick. Big, small, and quick, real simple. You can have this grand, big idea. You can bring it down to a smaller aspect of that. And then you can come up with an idea to make it quick. So you have an idea, right? A goal that you want to reach. You can have a big, broad idea of how you can reach that. You can have a um, smaller idea of how you can reach that goal, and then you can have a quick way that you can reach it. And then after you put those down, you think about it and figure out which one works best and which one will actually fit how you can reach it. And then the last one is OGTM: objective, goals, tactics, and metrics. Very similar to SMART goal. You have an objective um, for your business. You put goals, you put together goals to help you reach that objective. You have plans or tactics on how you're going to do that, and then you have metrics to measure when you're actually and how you're actually achieving that. So those are three ways that you can do it. So if you've never done goal setting, look at those three things: SMART goals, um, the BSQ, and the OGTM. Look at those three things, go pick one, and start setting goals for yourself. So at the end of the quarter, April, May, June, at the end of June, you have something to actually reflect and review on. Because this is very important to your growth, very important to your growth of your business and your success in your career. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I wanted to, at the end of each quarter, kind of go through this reflection and review, give you ideas of what you can think about and how you can continue to try to reach your goals, help those that are at a different point. I want to meet people where they are and help them to grow. So check out the podcast. I go into a lot of detail there. Drop some comments or questions. I can answer those as well. And check out PamelaDampier.com and look at all the great new things on the new website and ways that you can work with me. And I'm going to put it down here so that you can go check it out. So we will talk again next week. Next week topic is awesome. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. I've already prepared it and it's ready to go. You are going to love it. And talk to you guys later. Bye.